Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the you in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you the courtesy of conversation
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, listen, subscribe. Thanks everybody for views our shows. Don't forget every Sunday we do a 1 p.m. live stream and a Friday one at 7 p.m. That's the Friday Fix. And then Sunday is the Town Hall.
We sit back and we give you guys a little bit of a recap on the week's news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to keep you guys up to date. I've been missing in action for a minute. I had a nice vacation. I just went on there. I went down to Sao Paulo, Brazil, but there's been a lot of news that we've missed out on. A lot. So we're going to give you guys a quick kind of catch up really quickly over the next few days. Make sure you guys get caught up.
It's not going to happen again. And
hear our opinion on what's going to happen. Yeah. And I agree. I agree.
Yeah, we're going to be here. If one of us got to do it, then one of us got to do it.
That's what's got to happen.
Yeah.
Let's start off. I think, man, just from the way things are going right now, since everyone's so happy.
Yeah, everyone. I mean, some people are happy. I mean, I hope a lot of people get what they voted for.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They're about to get the military in the streets. They're pretty much about to get what's it called?
A national emergency.
Yeah, you're dropping a national emergency. You're pretty much going to declare. Martial law.
There was some lady on Twitter last night. She was talking about that. She's like, "Oh, that's what they're like. Oh, you're just happy they're going to start deporting people and have the army in the street." She's like, "That's what I voted for." And I looked at her. I was like, "Man, you look Mexican. You better walk around with your papers."
I mean, the worst than that is that we've never had that. We've never had to do stuff like this before until someone kind of came in here and said that there was a problem with something that none of you have actually ever seen. And if you look at the countries that they're targeting, it's all people of color. We're going to consistently talk about that. I'm going to consistently talk about that on this show because I know this is what America voted for, because you guys think that you're going to keep something that you're not going to keep. You're Motorola. Don't get it twisted. You guys are Motorola. This is over. This is game over. Really, you guys are taking out the population of people that we're going to need here to replace the population of people who are dying off. Y'all don't get that, though. You know what I'm saying? But let's start off. Let's go ahead and start off with that story.
So
first.
Donald Trump confirms on day one of presidency, he will declare a national emergency and utilize the U.S. military to conduct mass deportations. President-elect Donald Trump confirms that on day one of his presidency, he will declare a national emergency and utilize U.S. military to conduct mass deportations. Fears over Donald Trump's plan to conduct mass deportations continue to materialize day by day, especially now that the former president has been reelected. During his first presidency, Donald Trump shared his plans to keep out migrants from entering the U.S. illegally. He even enacted plans to build a massive wall at the southern border. Now, Donald Trump has vowed to continue building his wall and now confirms that on day one of his presidency, he will declare a national emergency and utilize the U.S. military to carry out his campaign promise of mass deportation of migrants living in America without legal permission. Early Monday, Donald Trump responded to social media posts from Judicial Watch Tom Fitton, who claimed earlier this month that the reports were surfacing about the incoming administration planning to declare a national emergency and use military assets to deport illegal immigrants. He said yes over that tweet. Now let's talk about this. First of all, they're gonna do martial law. They're going to name a state of emergency. So if you're anybody of color, you're going to have to carry around your papers. And what they're going to do, they're not deporting them right away. They're going to put them in tents. Basically in concentration camps and round them up. This is how they're going to get the price down on everything because they're going to use them as free labor.
I mean, honestly, there's no way to get the price down on this. You're going to be using our military, which right now we have a lot of issues around the world that are going on. You know, you're going to be using our military on our people. Do you think the military is held accountable at the same standard as the police? And the police are barely held accountable. The military is a hammer, period. It's there's no satin glove there when you're dealing with military units. They only know one way. And that means going inside of your house. That means going inside of your house. But I mean, a lot of people who are, I'm not even going to just talk about black people because I feel like a lot of us voted the way we're supposed to vote. We went the right way with things. Everyone else talk about we want to take our country back. This was never your country to begin with. Okay, you guys are done. It's over and done with for you. I mean, that's just the truth. You know, I mean, this country needs to move forward on a path that it's on. If you want,
no, that's not what they voted for. They want to go back to the 1930s,
absolutely,
where they can beat and women won't have any rights. They can kill minorities when they get bored. This is what they voted for. And I need everyone to understand this too. Look, people always say love always beats hate. No, never in my lifetime have I ever seen love beat out hate at all, ever in my lifetime. This is what we live in now. We live in an authoritarian government. We have a dictator as soon as he takes over. The one thing about Republicans, they was ready to burn this country down over a lie. And Democrats is too scared and too bussy to even attempt to see what's going on with the vote. Why is all this stuff happening right now? Where's the 20 million votes? You're too scared, so you don't look. First of all, then you waited till the last year, the election year, to even try to get the people that try to overthrow the government prosecuted. This is what you get. This is what happens when you play soft and you try to be nice to other people. It doesn't work like that. Now you're trying to stick up for immigrants. You were paying the immigrants over homeless people, homeless Americans. Well, the immigrants are gone. You were taking mental health and putting it into the schools to indoctrinate children. Now that's gone. You're going to lose that. You're going to lose your Medicaid's gone. Your Social Security is going to be gone. SNAP benefits is going to be gone. The Department of Education is going to be gone. They're going to get rid of all these programs,
environmental, everything.
And if you're already down bad and suffering, you're about to suffer more so the rich can get richer.
They just talked about cutting $2 trillion out of the budget. Where do you think that $2 trillion is coming from?
Oh, veterans. They're taking that from the veterans.
I mean, not only just the veterans, I mean, the poor, people who, all the programs that are needed for the people. That's where it's coming from.
Oh, yeah. You people going, y'all going to starve.
It's just, to me, man, what this whole entire thing just spells out is like, it reminds me of Germany when the Germans, and this is not needed a scapegoat because they failed because of their failures as a country. You know what I mean? And we're not even failing like Germany was going through it when they did this. We're doing pretty good. People got mad because the price of eggs went up. The price of, don't get me wrong, the price of food went up drastically, but that's called inflation. And it wasn't even so bad as like in some of these countries where they really needed an overhaul. I mean, in all honesty, I really wish that people truly understood the gravity of the situation, but people don't care.
You know what really happened? You left a bunch of people that tried to overthrow the government still in power. And all they did was try to destroy the government from inside and make it look bad. And that's exactly what they did. And he came back in, waltzing in where he shouldn't have been able to run again anyways. And I told you that. As soon as we got to the point, I was like, it's over. America was cooked. So we'll be America in name, but we won't be America in person anymore.
Absolutely not. I mean, not when you got the kind of people like this dude right here, to me, and I'm always going to say this, he works for Russia, his Russian shield, his whole entire government. When you're going to talk about some of these people down the line in the conversation, when you got people like Tulsi Gabbard, you got people like Matt Gaetz, you got the kind of people who he's putting in power that are all like sympathizers. You know, you first coming in through the front door, you're talking about, hey, we want to stop the Ukraine war, pretty much allowing a foreign country to invade another foreign country that's been consistently doing it. This is a bad situation that we're walking into. And now you're talking about mobilizing the United States military against its own people.
Oh, and don't forget, people said they had a protest vote because they didn't like how the Biden and Harris administration handled Gaza.
Oh my goodness.
Don't worry about it, because Gaza and the Palestinians will not be alive by the end of July.
And then you better start looking at the West Bank. He's basically saying they're going to take the West Bank.
They're taking all that.
You know what I mean? So we think they're going to do about Gaza. It's ridiculous, man. This whole entire protest vote, to me, man, it didn't work out too well, but it'll work out just fine for the people who did it. It'll work out just fine for them because they're not the ones who are going to have to worry about
I had a woman
the military
at my house
in the streets
the other night, and she was like, "Yeah, I voted for Trump." I was like, "Cool," did my thing, and I ain't talked to her since. You know what I'm saying? And you see the one reporter on Fox News, he was like, "Yeah, well, like my mom said, there was I'm not invited to Thanksgiving."
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, then she said I could come over for Black Friday, and he was like, "No, I'll be at Best Buy." And I'm like, "Bro, you can only be in Best Buy for 10 minutes. Ain't nobody shop around Best Buy. It's not Walmart. How many big screen TVs can you look at? They don't even sell CDs no more."
I'm like, man, at this point right here, this is a very serious thing when they're talking about mobilizing the military.
The military,
the United States
they're going to be able
military,
to stop your cars,
to round up. Where they're going to have like checkpoints, check stations.
Yep.
They're going to run into people's homes. They're going to ask you for paperwork. We're sitting here turning ourselves. I mean, the right wing part of our country. You guys are some of the most like communist, totalitarian, authoritarian groups of people in the world. Y'all talk about what Democrats are doing. Oh, they're trying to take our kids. They're trying to do this to our children. What I do know is they're not making anyone do anything. What you got, the rules that you guys are coming with, it's like, hey, I don't care. You should have to have papers to vote. We never had to have them before, and everything worked just fine. You guys even won this time. You know what I mean? So should we have had them this time too? Were we cheating? Was it rigged this time as well? You know what I mean? Or was it only when you win? You know what I mean? So it's just weird to me. It's the same thing. I came out of my page and said that. I'm like, like when some people win, and the other people lose, those people that lose can handle it. But the people who might have lost, before, they couldn't handle it. So they ran up in the Capitol. They turned into straight crybabies, man. It's just ridiculous. And now we're having to deal with somebody who's talking about using the United States military to basically turn us into a.
Well, you have to understand. I mean, some people like that. They live off hate. They were raised off hate.
That's true.
That's just what it is. They don't care if they suffer as long as everyone else is suffering along with them.
And they'll laugh about it, and they think it's funny. They're laughing, but it's like you're almost laughing at your own pain.
Well, that's
crazy.
The whole thing. It's like the most poor states in America are the Republican states. They don't realize. Look, you're going to lose. You're going to be homeless. You're going to lose your bed. I saw a girl on my Facebook. I'm not going to call her out, but she was like, "Oh, it's a beautiful day. Trump won." I'm like, "Chick, you on Section 8 and food stamps? You've been on it for 18 years. You don't realize what's about to happen to you. You're going to be homeless."